The UNESCO World Heritage Site Historic Monuments of Ancient Kyoto encompasses 17 locations in Japan within the city of Kyoto and its immediate vicinity. In 794, the Japanese imperial family moved the capital to Heian-kyō. Heian-kyō is located in today's Kyoto City, a city that imitates Luoyang, China. The locations are in three cities, Kyoto and Uji in Kyoto Prefecture, and Ōtsu in Shiga Prefecture. Uji and Ōtsu border Kyoto to the south and north, respectively. Of the monuments, 13 are Buddhist temples, 3 are Shinto shrines, and 1 is a castle. The properties include 38 buildings designated by the Japanese government as national treasures, 160 properties designated as important cultural properties, 8 gardens designated as special places of scenic beauty, and 4 designated as places of scenic beauty. UNESCO listed the site as World Heritage in 1994. Selection criteria. Kyoto has a substantial number of historic buildings, unlike other Japanese cities that lost buildings to foreign invasions and war, and has the largest concentration of designated cultural properties in Japan. Although ravaged by wars, fires, and earthquakes during its 11 centuries as the imperial capital, Kyoto was spared from much of the destruction and danger of World War II. It was saved from the nearly universal firebombing of large cities in Japan in part to preserve it as the primary atomic bomb target. It was later removed from the atomic bomb target list by the personal intervention of Secretary of War Henry L. Stimson, as Stimson wanted to save this cultural center which he knew from his honeymoon and later diplomatic visits. As a result, Nagasaki was then added as a target. The 17 properties of the World Heritage Site originate from a period between the 10th century and the 19th century, and each is representative of the period in which it was built. The historical importance of the Kyoto region was taken into account by the UNESCO in the selection process. List of sites. Kamiwake Kazuchi Shrine. One of the oldest Shinto shrines in Japan, one of the 2 Kamo Jinja, the traditionally linked Kamo shrines of Kyoto. The Kamo Jinja serve the function of protecting Kyoto from malign influences. The shrine is dedicated to the veneration of Kamo Wakai Kazuchi, the Kami of Thunder. Kamamai Oya Shrine. The second of the 2 Kamo Jinja, the traditionally linked Kamo shrines of Kyoto, which serve the function of protecting Kyoto from malign influences. The shrine is dedicated to the veneration of Tamayori Haim and her father, Kamo Taketsunomi. Kyogokokuji. A Buddhist temple of the Shingon sect, it once had a partner, Saiji, and, together, they stood alongside the Rashomon, gate to the Heian capital. It was formerly known as Kyo-o-Gokoku-ji, which indicates that it previously functioned as a temple providing protection for the nation. The temple dates from 796, 2 years after the capital moved to Heian-kyō. Together with its partner Saiji, and the temple Shingon-in, it was one of only 3 Buddhist temples allowed in the capital at the time, and is the only of the 3 to survive to the present. Kiyomizu-dera. Originally completed in 780, Kiyomizu-dera became an imperial temple in 805. It has burned down and been reconstructed 9 times, and most of the structures date from the 1630s. The main hall is built on a hillside, supported by massive wooden pillars and constructed without a single nail. The Hondo is a designated Japanese national treasure. The complex is also home to 18 Japanese important cultural properties. Inryaku-ji. The temple was founded in 788 by Seiko, who introduced the Tendai sect of Mahayana Buddhism to Japan from China. At its peak in the 10th century, Inryaku-ji was a huge complex of as many as 3,000 sub-temples and a powerful army of warrior monks. The warlord Oda Nobunaga ended this Buddhist militancy in 1571 by attacking Inryaku-ji, leveling the buildings and slaughtering monks. The current structures date from the late 16th century to early 17th century and reflect Edo period details, but the main building was built in 887. Daigoji. Daigoji comprises 2 main areas, the upper portion and the lower, on the western slope. 6 of the structures, including the main hall and its 5-story pagoda, are national treasures. The temple possesses 12 other designated national treasures, and the temple holds several dozen important cultural assets. The Sanbo in Teian, remodeled by Toyotomi Hideyoshi in 1598, is a special place of scenic beauty. Nina-ji. Construction of Nina-ji was begun by Emperor Kyo in 886, and completed in 888 by the Emperor Yuda, who became a Buddhist priest and took up residence after his abdication in 897. From then until the Meiji Restoration, temple's head priest was always of imperial lineage. The temple was destroyed during the Onin War in 1467, and the present buildings date from its reconstruction in 1641-4. The kondo was moved here from the imperial palace and is a national treasure. Byodo-in. Originally an aristocratic villa in the nearby town of Uji, Kyoto, Byodo-in became a Buddhist temple in 1052. The main hall is the only remaining original building, the others were burnt down during a civil war in 1331. The Phoenix Hall and its garden, with its Chinese influence, was intended to represent Saiko Gokurato Jodo, Ujigami Shrine. The guardian shrine for the nearby Byodo-in, and adjacent to Uji Shrine, Ujigami Jinja was originally built around 1060, making it the oldest original Shinto shrine in Japan. It is the oldest example of Nagare-zukuri style of shrine architecture in Japan, where the three inner shrine structures are built side by side, with the structure in the middle being larger than those to the left and right. Kozenji. Located in the mountains northwest of the Kyoto city, Kozenji is in an ideal location for mountain asceticism. Some reports have the temple established in 774, but 1206 is verifiable. The temple has been destroyed numerous times by fire and war. The oldest extant building is Sekisui-in, which dates from the Kamakura period, while others were rebuilt in 1634. Saihoji. The temple was primarily constructed to honor Amitabha, and is famed for its moss garden. Over 120 types of moss are present in the two-tiered garden, resembling a beautiful green carpet with many subtle shades. Saihoji was destroyed by fire during the Onin War and twice ravaged by floods during the Edo period, but has since been rebuilt. Rakuonji. Originally built in the Kamakura period as an aristocrat's country estate, Rakuonji became a Buddhist temple in 1422. It is known especially for the Kinkaku, with its second and third floors entirely gilded with gold, epitomizing the so-called Kitayama culture of the period. The building was burned to the ground in 1950 by a monk later ruled mentally ill, and rebuilt 1955. The temple is also known for its beautiful gardens and pond, designed to incorporate nearby Mount Kinugasayama into its scenery. Ryoanji. Ryoanji's garden is considered one of the finest surviving examples of kare-sansui, a refined type of Japanese Zen temple garden design generally featuring distinctive larger rock formations arranged amidst a sweep of smooth pebbles raked into linear patterns that facilitate meditation. Originally an aristocrat's country villa, Ryoanji became a Zen temple in 1450. When its buildings were destroyed by fire in 1797, the Hojo of the Seiganin, built in 1606, was relocated to Ryoanji and became the main hall of the temple, Nishi Honganji. One of two temple complexes in central Kyoto, Nishi Honganji is the head temple of the Jodo Shinshu sect of Pure Land Buddhism. Initially founded in Kyoto's Higashiyama area in the 13th century, Honganji was moved to a succession of locations, and finally relocated in 1591 to its present site when Toyotomi Hideyoshi gave the land to the temple. Its gate known as Karamon is designated a National Treasures of Japan. Nijo Castle. Nijo Castle was ordered built in 1601 by Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu and completed during the reign of Tokugawa Iemitsu in 1626. The ornately decorated complex served as the Kyoto residence and reception hall for the Tokugawa shoguns until 1867, when the last shogun, Tokugawa Yoshinobu, used its Nainomaru Palace to declare the end of the shogunate and return authority to the imperial court. The castle became an imperial detached palace until it was donated to the city of Kyoto in 1939.